we go. Alright, here we go. So, what do we know about this match? Zabuzar is going to be bringing the following decks. He's going to be coming with a Warrior, Shaman, Druid and a Warlock, from what I can see. And the Shaman got banned, so he'll be playing with Warrior, Druid, Warlock. And A4Papier had brought his Warrior, Shaman, Rogue and Lock. And the Rogue got banned, so he'll be playing with a Warrior, Shaman and Lock. So it's gonna be Warrior, Druid, Lock versus Warrior, Shaman, Lock. Let's see, it seems like A4Papier is going to start off straight away with his Shaman, whereas Zabuzar is playing his Druid here. Let's see what deck they're using. So okay, we see a Sitoon deck here on the Druid side. Let's start cheating and have a look at A4Papier's cards. One moment. Okay, that didn't work out the way I wanted. So we're gonna try this again. We enter at Zabuzar. And we are going to enter A4Papier. There we go, reveal his cards. There we go. Okay, so he's going to play Aggro Shaman. There we go. So Aggro Shaman versus Sitoon Druid. Sorry boys. Took a little second to get everything on the right spot, but we have it now. Alright, this is going to be a little awkward in the early few turns for the Druid. Is the game bugged again? It looks like the game is bugged. Probably we need to go again. It looks like the game is bugged. One second. Volgens mij is het spel vast, hè? No, never mind. Kijk hoor. I saw some cards switching. Oh, wait, there is something happening. Something weird happening here, but there's still something happening. Kijk, let's just wait one turn and see what happens. This is taking too long. Probably we should just go in and out. I think there's something wrong with the spectator mode again. This just really sucks. Okay, we're gonna re-enter. This is not working. So we're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave the other one as well. This is a bit unfortunate. Okay, we entered the wrong match. That's interesting. Oh, my aim skills are so good. I need to probably play a little more clicker heroes. I'm not that good at this clicking stuff, I see. Okay, now we can also enter the match from off here. Come on, work game. There we go. And there we go. Okay, it finally sorted out. In the meantime, the Druid's HP got considerably low. He did get his Twin Emperor out that we saw earlier, that he had in his hand. Let's take it on from here. Alright. Sitoon is at least up on 13-13. Caster aim. Hashtag new meta. Indeed. I have to practice that, don't worry guys. The next time I'll be casting again for the fireside, I'll have practiced my clicker hero skills to madness levels. And I'll be the fastest, nothing but love. The fastest host clicking around and getting into matches and out and all that. Anyway, let's focus back on the match. So we are here at 10 HP. We know we are facing an aggro shaman now. Let's see what we can find here. That won't do any burst. 1 damage potentially, 2 damage and a doom hammer. So that's like 4, 6, 7 damage potentially on face. So not really in danger yet, but I mean, you know, there's still the top deck and we don't know yet. So I think here he's just not gonna take any risk and try to set up lethal as soon as possible. And obviously I think that's the right choice by Zabuzar. That's really nice. Nicely done. I mean, he can't do anything else. If he waits too long, he is gonna get lethal. Is that lethal? I think it might have. Let's see. We have let's see, 4 damage here plus 4, 8. No, wait, we're missing still 2 damage. Even if the Flame Juggler hits face, we would still lack 1 damage. Couldn't pull it off, saw that it was too late, and gave up. Anyway, the first match is going to go to Zabuzar. Hopefully the spectator mode won't be bugging out so much, so we can actually view the first match. So apologies for that, guys. Couldn't really help it, as you guys saw. The lags were serial, or I don't know what was happening exactly. Anyway, the first match goes to Zabuzar, so at least the cheering from the fans seems to be helping. So far, living up to that. Let's see if we gonna have an easy victory on match number 2. I'm assuming that A4Papier, which plays I think in most of the tournaments, will not come with like 3 aggro decks. Or maybe he does. You never know. I wouldn't expect him. I would expect him to have a strategy where he would like have a variety of decks where he would have some aggros or at least a control deck in there to deal with certain decks and not go with the same. Anyway, we're gonna see again that warrior deck that we've seen so far. On one side we see the patron deck. That's pretty interesting, and the other one we see the aggro shaman. Sorry, the aggro version. So Afir is gonna play another aggro-y deck kinda, and on this side we have the patron version. Let's see how this game is gonna go. Alright, starting off with A4Papier. Can't really do much. Gonna turn. I guess he was just checking cards. Or just for tournament reasons, just like not insta passing, just taking his time. That's fine. Alright. Decides to go for board instead of using hero power here. I mean, he knows he has the Acolyte play. So with the Acolyte coming up, I mean, having the Armor Smith to get that little extra HP, why not? Besides, he also has like Frothing, so you might be able to like whirlwind up a very decent armor card draw plus a decent Frothing Berserker up. Might be a good idea. Anyway, one attack minion on the other side, so having the Acolyte to get more cards out. Or at least get like a Fury War Axe or so. Didn't work. Didn't happen, so there we go. We're gonna draw probably as many cards with the Acolyte as possible. Card draw first. Alright, so what are his options? Okay, he wanted to get the Execute off for sure. Gets 2 cards with that. And probably he's just gonna hero power. Has not much reason. Maybe a slam, but I don't see the reason really. Just hero power as he does. I think it looks fine enough. Streamers are saying something about they can't see one of the players. Alright, it's getting sorted. Thanks for letting us know, Sleepy Nick. Nick? Or is it? Yeah, Sleepy Nick. Alright. We are fixing that up. Give us a second. Let's have a look. Oh, you can see, as you can see, the players are like head down, hands up, paper in their hands, and just like fucking thinking a billion moves. And of course, they want to win. There's some nerves involved. So let's see how this is gonna go. Alright. Just stacking up some armor, clearing up the board, getting cards. Basically just like taking it easy, waiting for the later turns to start applying some pressure. On this side, we simply just want to get cards. Assuming there's gonna be like a... Well, he has the Fury War Axe out, so I'm not sure if he's right away gonna go for the Acolyte, but he might do an Acolyte and then play it with like a... Say an Acolyte into Inner Fire and then going for the Battle Rage. I don't know if he has more of those. He might just drop a taunt. Alright, he's gonna go for the taunt, that's fine. The opponent really hasn't gotten a way, like doesn't really have a way of clearing this right away. I mean, he has a 3 attack weapon and this Acolyte, so unless he brings something... Alright, just gonna drop Kane as it seems. Just develop a board. There's no reason to also panic here. So he can take it easy, he figures. He just plays the Kane, develops a board. I mean, he still has a few big minions and he still has Harrison for the weapon. We don't have a weapon yet on Zabuzar, so I don't think Harrison is gonna be like much use for the time being, but it's available. Alright. Ah, that's cool. Let's see. Alright. Iker here. Just again trying to develop a board, clearing that armor smith so he doesn't get some crazy combo with whirlwind and try to get too much armor from it. I mean, all those armors like do start ticking up. I mean, he's not really doing too much for it. Having a minion on the board, I mean, getting that off the board at some point is a good idea usually. So, all right, just going for card draw, developing the board a little bit and getting the acolyte off to try to draw more cards again. I mean, he's just waiting for his patrons at this point. All right, execute us out the way. Acolyte's gonna be killed right away, so he doesn't get more than one card. Just trying to reduce the amount of cards that the warrior is gonna draw. Generally gonna be a good idea. Basically want to get those acolytes and all those card drawing mechanics usually off the board pretty quick. Gadget Sans or the 1/3 priest. The priest card. Usually want to get them off pretty fast. Alright, what do we have here? So we so far have a Slam still. We got the Iker, we got some options here. Assuming he's gonna keep those for the patrons. We got Reggie, we got a goal. I mean, he got definitely a lot of things to like trigger that patron up. He might probably like go for the. Well, it seems he is going for it, trying to like probably get a Warlock hero power or something like that. Didn't get that. Didn't get the Mage hero power as well to ping his minions. So maybe he will go for like say the Paladin hero power just to like flood minions and try to get the warrior to waste removals. Nope, goes for the druid. All right, keeps a little keeps like armor growing, I guess, in a way.
Hekje team 3 Fin F Zabuzar
Thanks for the donation, Fuchs NL. Everything is appreciated. Let's have a look. Raggy comes out the closet here. Takes care of. Let's see. Raggy kills Melkorok. The Melkorok gave him the rogue weapon. It's the second time we've seen today that the rogue weapon came up. Alright, no execute yet, so we're just gonna deal with it the normal way, doesn't matter. I mean, he's able to grow his Frothing Berserker, he had like still a Bane there, so who cares. A little armor, still not looking too bad. Still won't be able to benefit from the weapon, so Harrison, I mean at some point it's probably just gonna be played. I am not quite sure if he's actually gonna do it though. I mean, it's a warrior, you'd expect weapons, so maybe with the lack of cards as well, he would want to have a Harrison to draw more cards. I mean, he's probably also scared of Brawl, so we might not see Reggie until at least some of his board is cleared. Alright, seems that we are going to take care of Bane with Execute, charging into the Frothing Berserker probably. Probably that's like gonna be all. Hit face, armor up, no need to rush anything. So let's read up on the chat in a second, in between of the match. I'll probably missed a lot of it. Alright, there's Reggie. So as I said, the board was cleared somewhat. So with that Brawl threat out the way, or the Brawl value threat away, do not give too much value to that one card. Now that it's cleared, it's a bit more safe to play Reggie. Goes out with the Reggie, and it seems like Reggie will not be answered. So Reggie will be able to probably get 16 damage out on the face just like that. Alright. Weapon is gonna be used here, why not? I mean, Reggie is there, there we go. The card draw that he was waiting for. He did get at least one card draw, that's good, there we go. Battle, Rage, I mean he's getting two nice top decks here. Or having the Battle Rage on top with 2 cards, plus the Harrison, developing board, plus taking care of the weapon. As it seems, Zabuzar still has no ways of clearing Ragnaros yet. He has like literally, he needs to top deck something good here or he's gonna have to give up. So it looks like This is pretty much game. I mean, probably we're gonna see a concede here from Zabuzar. But as it looks right now, there's not really much he can do. I mean, he can drop that probably just for tournament reasons to not just like give the match up. He will play this through, but I don't see this happening. There's just like there's still the charge minion here in the hand. There's still the weapon, so that's like only in weapon he already has. Only in hand he has 7 damage, plus 5 damage from this one, so that's 12 damage. I mean, that's lethal already. I mean, this is pretty much game. So basically, Afir takes the next match over here, going to a 1-1, and that will be match number 2. Going to the third match now. Let's see how that's gonna go, guys. And I'm kind of curious what decks the players are gonna bring. So basically, we have Zabuzar that won the first match, and his Druid deck took the win, so that one is out. And we have on A4Papier's side the Warrior that was taken down. So we're gonna see either Afir's final deck, which is the lock, or he might bring his Shaman again. And on Zabuzar, we might again see the Warrior, or he might bring out his lock. Let's see how the guys feel like they should do this. For now, we are on a 1-1, guys. Waiting for match number 3. 1-1. Eerste was Zabuzar's win, Druid tegen Warrior. Of kijk, nee, Druid tegen Shaman was het volgens mij, ja. En de tweede match was een Warrior tegen... Even kijken, Warrior van A4 tegen... was Warrior volgens mij, ja. Mirror, ja. Warrior, ja. Ja, klopt. Ja, was geen Mirror, maar... Ja, 1-1. Klopt. Alright, that out the way. Have to keep track of the score and stuff as well. As we can see, let's have a look at the boys, how they're doing. Both still have their serious faces on. You can see a little nervousness going on, ticking on the table, but trying to keep composure and focus on the game. Back at the content, let's see. So we're gonna see the Zulok coming out from A4Papier, and Zabuzar is gonna again use the same warrior deck. Feels like he don't want to show his final deck yet. We've seen all the decks from A4 now. So Zabuzar still has like one deck that he hasn't shown yet. If A4Papier wins here, he's gonna come back with his aggro shaman. If he loses, then well, that would be a little unfortunate, but he would still have to win with the aggro and the Zulak, and then we would see the final deck of Zabuzar. Anyway, so far the board is developing quite hard on the Zulak side. Don't really have too many clears here, so probably we might... Okay, the weapon. That changes things a little bit at least. I assume he's not going to be taking care of the abusive. Just kill that juggler, probably armor up. I don't see why he would inner fire just yet. I mean, he still has a whirlwind clear. Probably we're going to see an acolyte plus whirlwind, or like a floating berserker plus whirlwind, or something in that nature. Alright, definitely pressure is on. So, how are we gonna deal with this? He could charge... he could drop a charge minion. Weapon, like he could weapon down the taunt, charge down the 5-7, and then use whirlwind. That would take care of the shadow beast, the abusive... that would take care of the possessed villager, the... what's it called? The Darkshire and the abusive, as well as the taunt over here. So he would have a Darkshire with 1 HP and a Shadow Beast. Probably is what he's gonna do. I don't see really a lot of plays. So he's gonna play the Whirlwind and then go with the Charge Minion probably. Looks like he's what he's gonna do. But it's kinda like a fine enough clear. Most of the threatening part of the board is gone. And there aren't that many cards in the lock anymore. And the Warrior's still keeping up. But, I mean... we do have life tap on the Warlock side, so if he taps a few times correctly, that would be very... haha. You should... anyway. Either way, we see, again, the Warlock has a board up again. That's the kind of like the power of the hero power on the Warlock side. I mean, you could keep spamming. That's why the Zoo Warlock is so good. Like his board got cleared quite efficiently, but not completely, and there we go, there's like 4 minions on the board again, ready to go. I mean, the pressure is on continuously. Unless you have like some really fine board clears, I mean, or some value minions that actually give you some good value, which is pretty hard to pick with like cards like Abusive and Power Overwhelming and stuff to like get the value swaps on your favor. Like, you're gonna have a real hard time. And we can see that here with the Warrior. The Warrior is somewhat keeping up with the clears, like somewhat, but still has so much pressure. Top deck Leroy and still has like a Soulfire here, so that's GG, that's game. That was a fast win for A4Papier. Not going so good for Zabuzar anymore as he started initially. That was a very well played 1-0 victory for Zabuzar and then quickly back to a 2-1 for A4. This could be it for Zabuzar, guys. If A4 wins one more match, it's gonna be over. If Zabuzar wins now, he at least has one more chance. But basically, what it comes down to is that he has to beat Aggro Shaman twice, and the decks that he has available for himself. 1 second, gonna have a quick peek again. So he has his Druid Victory, so he has a lock deck still out there. En wat waren de decks ook alweer? Gonna quickly peek at the decks again. Van Zabuzar, ja. A4.
Met welk deck?
Wat was het nou? Zulok. Zulok tegen zijn Warrior was het. Alright, Zabuzar still doesn't want to show his final deck. Probably is going to be a Zulok. And thinks that his Warrior stands a better chance. But either way, it wouldn't have mattered either way how he handled it. I mean, he has to win with both decks against the Aggro Shaman. So, feels like the Warrior's going to be the better pick here. Just to be able to stay in the match. And give it a final try with the lock. Then I'm assuming it's going to be a Zulok as well. They're quite popular. Like Zulok or maybe a Combo Reno. Anything in that nature. Anyway. Probably the Armor Smith thrown out to get as soon as possible like armor going and have at least something to contest. Anyway, a very good starting hand for A4 here. I mean, look at this. Argent Squire and the Trog in turn 1 into a Flame Tongue and doesn't even give one shit about the minion and just keeps going face. So there's going to be a lot of pressure coming out from the Shaman. It's not going to allow too much time to the Shaman, sorry, to the Warrior. Alright, that's a pretty clever clear. Takes care of 4 damage off the board. Keeps, gets again a little armor, grows his Frothing Berserker and takes care of the current threat. This is pretty good coming out from Zabuzar, pretty nice play. Anyway, the Shaman is probably just looking for ways to smork. I mean the Flame, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, Flame Juggler, it would buff the Frothing, give armor. I mean, if it doesn't hit the Frothing, it could hit the Armor Smith, that would be even worse. I mean, in the good case scenario, it would hit the Frothing Berserker, so he could Lightning Bolt it down, but I just think that he's thinking like, should I risk it? Instead, things like, maybe it's a good turn just to grab armor and allow this, what's it called? Allow the Warrior his turn. Assuming there's gonna be a Rock Biter on... Okay. Clears the Armor Smith. I think that's a good idea. Considering that you don't want to give the guy too much armor, you're an aggro deck, you want to finish it fast. And if you allow him to like get a Whirlwind or something off with quite a few minions on board, that armor could really screw you over, because you do want to, you are on a ticking clock. If the game lasts too long, taunts come up and armor starts rising, it's gonna be like not hold, like you won't be able to hold it anymore, considering he doesn't really have board to continue damage. He has it like all from either charges and the minions that he plays. As long as like right now Zabuzar can stay on top of it, he should have an easy game, easy victory on this. Alright. Decides to just go draw the cards. Probably he's just gonna drop his Acolyte here. Why not? I mean, right now there is no threat on the board. There is a Taunt on, which is pretty solid. Either we're gonna see like a Earthshock Hex, or he would have to waste resources to clear that, so that's only good. Any damage not going to face is good damage if you're facing these aggro decks. So here prevented 5 damage to face and also got the A4Papier to attack that Acolyte. Just to give the Warrior less card options, but then again, that's another 3 damage prevented to face. I think that overall, all in all, it gives the Warrior a little more space and since he's been drawing cards, he probably might keep up pretty easily here. There we go. I'm not sure why he would play Frothing Berserker after. Like he just mentioned that that was an error. Fair enough. I mean, he should have dropped the Frothing and then attacked to gain that 1 extra damage, but okay. I guess that's the nerfs. Alright, Doomhammer is out. Normally that's when you start getting really scared, but I think it's pretty okay for Zabuzar at this point. I mean, the Shaman is just continuously trading on an aggro deck. I mean, that can't be too good. That can't be working out in his favor.
Let the pain speak to me.
I would say that this is going definitely really great for Zabuzar, and probably we're gonna see a final match between the two. So far so good. I mean, the Shaman doesn't have really any burst left anymore. The Warrior has a lot of time, and now there's gonna be a lot of pressure coming in from Zabuzar. Continues to developing board, continues to draw cards, has Raggy in the hand. The Shaman is also on a ticking clock. That's not the top deck he needs. You don't want to draw your second Doomhammer when you already have your Doomhammer running. That's a dead card. Alright, unlock your overloaded mana crystal. Sentinel is out. It's just developing some minor board. Probably hoping for taunt even, just so that he can keep some board to continue and damage. I don't think there's gonna be too much of an issue here. We're probably gonna see Patron coming out now. There's so many good minions for Patron here, so Patron Whirlwind is definitely gonna be played here. Weapon down the... He's gonna weapon down the 2-3 to prevent a little less damage to face. Patron down. Whirlwind up. I mean, I can't see how this can go wrong. Let's see. So there's the Patron, there's the Whirlwind. He's probably gonna use his Battle Rage or Armor. I'll probably just armor up here. There's one card in the Shaman's hand. You don't have to be afraid, I guess. I mean, there's no need to do that. Besides, he's just gonna go for the card draw. I think he realizes that the victory is in. Alright, is he gonna use the Inner Rage to get more Patrons? It looks like he will. He could use it on the 3-1. It's an aggro Shaman, why not? Decides to not do that. Take, as I said, less damage to the face, so hits the Flame Juggler with face. Just trades his minion because he has what he needs. And at this point, I think he will go for the Inner Rage. I mean, there is no reason not to. Decides not to. That's fine. Either way, the Abusive will be able to clear one. And there's the other clear, so... Inner Rage would have been really nice if he used it. But it doesn't really matter. He has another Patron over here. You got another Iker over here. I think just because of that you could have used one at least. But if the Shaman doesn't do something really quick, it's gonna be over real fast. So probably we're gonna see another armor gain here. Armor Smith out, Patron out. Going into maybe an Iker afterwards. I think that's a misplay. If he slams it. Oh no, he's going to go all out with just getting Patrons out. Okay, that's fair enough. The Shaman would have to clear. So far he can clear. Shaman is able to clear this so far. He can kill 2 of the Patrons with his weapon. Oh wait, the third one he can't clear. Okay, Feral Spirit, there it is. I really think that the Warrior eventually will win, but he needs to do it really fast. Because if a Rockbiter comes out now, it's gonna be pretty game. There we go. Uses the weapon just so he can play whatever needs be on the next turn. Alright, so the Warrior needs to do something, or he could die to a top deck. That'd be really sad. I think that Zabuzar has been doing really good this game. Has been kind of ahead. And then if suddenly there would be a Rockbiter win, that would be a little unfortunate. A bit anticlimactic, but yeah. We'll see. Alright. What are we gonna get here? I think the right move here would be just to sacrifice your 3-1 just to clear board a little more, then play the Armor... Actually play Armor Smith first, then kill with the 3-1, and then play the gold to gain as much armor as possible. I mean, that would just guarantee the match. He should have played Armor Smithy. I think that's a misplay. Unless he sees lethal right now. That's 12 damage. Is that a lethal, boys? That's exact lethal, actually. Well played. That's the correct play that he did. That's why he took his time. Anyway, that's the second match for Zabuzar. And we are gonna see a final round. Going up to round number 5 now. Croker lead. It's 2-2 now. You can see the score on the... What is it? Below me, over here. You can see the score. Alright. There we go. 2-2. So we are gonna see a final match. We already know what the decks are gonna be on what the deck is gonna be on Afir. So the final deck, as I thought it would be, Zabuzar is going to be running a Zoo. And we know that Afir is running an aggro deck. So let's have a look at what happens in the final match. They're already shaking hands, as from what I could tell. And they are up for the final round. Stress levels probably high for both of the players. Let's see. So what do we have? We have an Abusive on this hand. We have a coin, Flame Juggler. We have Earthshock, and we have the Feral Spirit. All right. Squire, Abusive, Dark Peddler. I mean, both of the players have a pretty decent hand. Earthshock already out. All right, that's an interesting play. Then again, there isn't really anything else that you would want to Earthshock. Maybe the Council guy, the 1/5 that grows. But other than that, I guess you could just really use Earthshock. That's really good for like for the Shaman. He actually managed to get the Warlock hero power. He's gonna be able to draw his cards. So that's pretty good. Does manage to get the clear here. So time is ticking for Zabuzar. I mean, he can't be tapping too much, because he knows he's against the aggro Shaman. Even the Flame Imp is gonna be very dangerous to play. Like, he's probably just like not gonna play the Flame Imp, because if you do and you're tapping, the aggro Shaman's gonna finish you pretty fast. I guess Imp Gang Boss would be a target to go for. But then again, I mean, with an Abusive, if you drop a minion and you leave the Ardent Squire and you have nothing to trade into it, then if you wouldn't Earthshock it, I mean, it could get Abusive and trade or kill whatever you put. I mean, there's a Dire Wolf. I mean, there's like many reasons to like take care of that minion right away and not give the Warlock the value swaps, I guess. Alright, he does have the guts to actually play that Imp. Feels like it's the right play just to develop board. And the Shaman is gonna use his first Rockbiter. At least that's something for the lock in his favor. I mean, he has to worry about one less Rockbiter draw on the Doomhammer. The Shaman does think that it's the best to just clear the board and continue that way. And it does seem to be working out for him. I mean, right now the Warlock doesn't have any clear, so he's gonna have to play very defensively. He gotta be very careful with tapping, because he has no answers. And with a little bit of like a board on the Shaman side with whatever burst he has in his deck. And Shamans tend to have a lot of charge. The Space Shamans, as you know, charge or burst spell damage kind of things in their deck. You don't want to go too low. Could go really fast. Yeah, that's just a value swap, and I think slowly we're gonna start seeing damage going to the face. I mean, the Warlock's in a really bad shape right now. Still has no way of clearing board. I mean, he can put a Sea Giant, but he might just lose in a turn or two. With the right draws, a Rockbiter would give him 10 damage, and that would be insta-lethal. Yeah, that's probably a right, Jolly Gnome. I mean, there are several minions that you can use it, but as you can see, it worked out. I mean, so far, it has been the right play. I mean, that minion could have given so many plays, like for example, as you saw, with double Abusive, power overwhelming. I mean, it could have done a lot of mess, but it got taken care of right away, and he was able to develop a board from there, because the Warlock simply couldn't follow up or keep up with the trades, which is pretty weird for a aggro Shaman. I mean, look how fast it's going. The Luck is not going to be able to tap anymore. Well, he wasn't anyway, but now it's even worse. So, This looks like has been a very fast match. Can he pull off lethal somehow? He can play everything. That's like 9 damage plus 2, 11 damage, 11 damage plus 8, 19, 21 damage. Pretty close, but not enough. 4 damage off lethal. That's an insane burst, but just not enough. Board clear is not an option anymore. I mean, he has a Doom Hammer. Unless you have a taunt, the Doom Hammer alone kills it. Board clear has no meaning really. So right now, this is really unfortunate, but this is really game. I don't see a way out. This is like, yeah, I mean, he knew that there is no lethal in hand, so the only thing he can do is like tap into something maybe. But it wasn't what I needed, and that's it, game. There we go. This is unfortunate. It was a bit of a quick match between the two. It went pretty quick. I mean, there were some aggro Zooey type decks, so flood, flood, pew, pew. That might have helped. There was the aggro warrior. A lot of aggro decks. In the end, also like went still pretty fast, and in favor of Afir in the end. Zabuzar did manage to score a victory here. I'm gonna try see if I can get one of the guys here um, on screen while we're waiting for the next match. One moment. So this is a victory for Afir, guys. He ended up on a 3-2. Unfortunately for Zabuzar, but then again, um, in favor of Afir. Okay, it seems that we are going to quickly get A4Papier here on screen, see what he has to say, and if you guys have any questions for Afir, once again, feel free to post them in the chat, and we will be asking him a few questions over here. We'll be taking some questions from the chat, and we can ask what Afir thought of it or was doing.
Nee, ik heb liggen uit in de tweede.
Nee joh.
Ja, ik kom even erbij zitten.
Ja hoor.